dead heat. And fresh off the second presidential debate last night, Mitt Romney and President Obama hit the campaign trail separately, of course, today. At this rally in Chesapeake, Virginia, Romney told supporters he's enjoying the debates. But he says so far the president hasn't said anything about what his plans for his next 4 years would be if he is reelected. After a stop in Iowa, the president, meantime, back in the battleground state of Ohio, he told the crowd there Mitt Romney was trying to sell the country a sketchy deal with his tax plan, his plan to reduce the deficit and create jobs. While both men were doing their best to stay on message, many were still talking about the debate last night, especially the body language between these two. And Susan Constantine knows all about body language. She is a jury consultant and a criminal profiler. Joins us now from Orlando. Hi there, Susan.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. You know, there's one moment in the debate last night where the president and Governor Romney almost seemed like they were just going to drop the gloves and take it outside. What did you see there?
Yeah, you know, I was like, oh my God, are they going to call the Secret Service to jump in there at any time? But basically what happened was they were using space as an intimidator. So the two of them would go within the person's, trust space and evade it. So that's kind of like an old investigator's tactic that says, if I get into your proximity, it's going to trip you up, increase anxiety, and put pressure on you.
That happened several times last night. Did you see more or less of that from one or the other?
I didn't see more or less from one another, but I saw a lot of the blame game. You know, the pointing at one finger, pointing at the other. Not so much of the sneering and snickering as what we've seen in the past. So that was kind of more neutral. But there was a moment where, of course, one candidate, I think it was President Obama, was in the back and he was seated down, and Romney came up forward. You could see Obama in the back. And here we saw that, that Mitt Romney was talking with his palms up, but at the same time in the back you saw Obama pushing his hand down, basically incongruent with one another, saying yes it is, and he's saying no it's not. So, and the other thing is too, at the distance they were. So Obama was a little bit higher up, even though that Mitt Romney walked forward. When you look at eye level, we saw that that Obama was higher up, which is kind of a dominating position.
How do you think these two men connected with the audience last night? After that first debate, there really wasn't much, there wasn't any audience. Last night we had an audience, but not much interaction, so the pressure certainly on them to kind of be personable and connect with people. Who do you think may have done the better job?
I think that Obama did a very good job this way, but it was kind of awkward. You know, he kind of broke gaze with the people that were most important, which was us, the viewers. So he paid a lot of attention who was there, which of course that's why it was a town hall meeting. And he was connecting with them, walking around, which became a little bit distracting. So I think he connected really well with the audience, but I think as us as the viewer, there was a disconnect.
What about that moment? I know in particular when they were talking about Libya and the president, I don't think I've ever seen him. He almost looked angry. It almost seemed like his temperature was rising. He stopped, he turned around, and he glared at Governor Romney. That seemed to be kind of a real turning point in the tension there. Based on some of that and based on how Governor Romney was able to respond, can you pick a winner based strictly on their body language?
In this case, I'm going to share with you that I don't think there was a winner. I think that each one of them neutralized each other out. I think that Obama raised up the rank a little bit compared to how miserably he did the time before. So he was a little bit more on his game. But, I mean, if he was ahead, I was just barely here. So I'm really going to call it even Steven.
And let's face it, a lot of us don't know anything about these numbers they're talking about. We're not able to do the kind of math that they're talking about. So a lot of us are watching their reactions to one another and their interpersonal communication and how they work with one another. So this is really important to voters, just strictly their behavior, is it not?
It is, because 93% how we communicate is nonverbal, and we've already learned that 7% of us in words, you can't trust the words that people say. What are they saying with their body language? Because that's our emotions revealed. That's the true self. So watch the body language. It's the most important tell of all. Susan Constantine is a body language expert, criminal profiler here in Central Florida. Susan, thanks very much. You're welcome. Thank you.
Some interesting observations.